There are facts, not theories, that show the soul lives on. Please give facts about the immortality of the soul that school children can understand. I can tell you this. My book, Life After Death of the Soul, was recently published at the Danilov Monastery, and I present some facts there. But you can take any of the many books now being published. There is a great deal of literature that contains nothing but facts, real cases of what happened to people who were in a state of clinical death. These experiences are interesting for several reasons. One of the most convincing is this. While a person is in that state, he can be somewhere else, seeing what his relatives or friends are doing at that very moment. And when he is brought back to life in the hospital, he describes it. It is checked, and it turns out to be exactly as he said. Did his body see it? Another striking example is described by Dr. Rawlings in his book, Beyond Death's Door. He was an American doctor, quite indifferent to religion, but one case made a deep impression on him, the return to life of a patient from clinical death. He writes that about half of those who return describe experiences of hell, and about half describe experiences of paradise. You may have read the first famous book on this topic, Raymond Moody's Life After Life, which caused a sensation in the United States and sold millions of copies. But Moody described only pleasant experiences, light, warmth, love. Rawlings, however, writes that about half experienced the opposite, and that is what led him to study the phenomenon. He was a strong man, and when he performed heart massage, he sometimes broke ribs. Usually, when a patient regained consciousness, the first thing he shouted was, "Doctor, stop! Doctor, stop!" But one day he was shocked. The patient cried, "Doctor, don't stop! Don't stop! I'm in hell!" Then he lost consciousness again. Rawlings revived him, and again the same cry. This repeated several times. These experiences cannot be explained by the state of the body or the psyche. They clearly show that the human soul can leave the body and return to it. When it leaves, it can experience both paradise and hell. It can observe the visible world, see and hear what is happening, and then describe it. There have always been many such facts. Always. But who reported them? Church people. And they were dismissed as nonsense, superstition. Now scientists report them, doctors of science, and suddenly it becomes serious. Here is one case Rawlings describes. A man died. Everything, the funeral preparations began, the coffin was there. But he saw everything, tried to speak to his relatives, but no one heard him. And then he saw, in another room, a fierce argument over his inheritance, people ready to tear each other apart. He was horrified. "I'm alive! Why are you fighting?" They did not hear him. Imagine his state and theirs when he came back to life. Rawlings writes that all those he revived who had experienced hell radically changed their lives. This is a fact. Science is built on facts, not speculation. And he presents facts. So you can take these books, choose the most striking cases, and read them to school children. Let them hear them.